It's not easy. There's a lot of couples that are watching right now, just sitting in their home and they're looking at each other, but they're not really talking with each other.
That's
so,
right.
you know, I'm all for chattering, and what you all are doing, I think is really neat.
So what would even get them back on that same page, Devon? Like, well, how do you even start if you're staring at him thinking, I don't even like you?
Yeah, you know, so here's what I believe in a relationship, especially in a marriage. When we said I do, I've been married for 8 years. So when you say I do, you're saying I do to who that person is and also who you think they may be. The challenge is, as you walk marriage out, that person becomes very different than who you thought you were saying I do to. Doesn't mean different is bad. It's just different. And too often in a marriage, we're trying to hold somebody to who they were instead of appreciating who they are. So
where were you when I was married?
hey, everything God's plan, right? You know, but in order for a relationship or a marriage to really get to where it could be, it's about appreciating who the person is, accepting them for where they are now, and getting to learn who this person is instead of trying to make them into an ideal of who you would like them to be that they may never be. I feel in a time like this, acceptance is critical in order to bring back communication into a marriage.
Absolutely.
That's so good, because so many people tolerate versus accept. And so that word acceptance is so good. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's important.
I was thinking about, even when I first got married, my husband married an idea of who I was. You know, he didn't really know me. He just thought I was somebody. And we had all kind of hell in the beginning. I mean, I've been married for 36 years this year.
Wow.
And I mean, I thank God for him. I like him now, but there was a time that I wanted to kill him. I knew I out of it, because it was until death do us part. Lord knows. I wanted to go there. I'm like, okay, well, since you're not dying, I'm gonna have to take you out. Sit down and communicate. How do you advise people to, open up with communication, to sit down and just share? Because some men are so intimidated. We would love to hear from a man's perspective. Like, how do we teach our men to open up to us, to listen to us, to hear us?
Okay, so I think that any man, especially in a marriage or relationship, would probably resist the idea of teaching. Do we need to be taught? Absolutely. But it almost has to happen, covertly. Because if a woman comes to a man and says, I want to teach you this, most men are gonna be like, wait. But here's how you do it, because we do need your help. We do need your teaching. Part of it is to just ask the question. A lot of times in a marriage, spouses are talking at each other, they're not talking with each other. So here's what I mean. Even now during a pandemic, ask the question, hey babe, what are you afraid of right now? What's really giving you anxiety right now? What's on your mind? What's on your heart? What are you thinking about your future? When you begin to ask a man those questions, that's where you're going to get him to open up, because you're not talking at him. You're not saying, hey, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? You're just saying, hey, talk to me about something what's on your heart. And I believe in that vulnerability. When we feel safe to be vulnerable, and it feels like our wives really accept that vulnerability, that's when you begin to have an avenue where teaching can take place, transformation can take place. But a lot of times, in my experience, when you're looking at a marriage, sometimes the wife may be wanting the man to do instead of trying to investigate him and who he is. It's like, oh, why aren't you doing this? Or you should be doing that, or go do this. And a man's like, okay, I can do all that, but you're not even asking me how I am. Asking me what's going on in my head and my heart. So I think it starts with those questions, which can really help in a marriage for us as men to be taught. And I believe as wives to really help in that process, because it's critical.